pipeline a good thing for Alberta?
I am all for anything that delivers a pipeline. I'm just not sure if he's going to be able to deliver. And they have a pretty divided caucus in cabinet right now, so we'll see what happens. But I really hope we get a pipeline out of it. Thank you. Oui, j'espère que nous allons avoir une union de pipeline, mais en ce moment, je ne suis pas certaine parce qu'il y a beaucoup de visions dans le caucus, le cabinet libéraux. Donc, on verra parce qu'à ce moment, c'est seulement promis. Nous avons vu beaucoup de promis qui étaient déjà classiques. Merci beaucoup.
Est-ce que c'est juste un truc de la part de M. Carney?
C'est possible parce qu'il a fait beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Is the MOU with Alberta just a smoke screen?
Pardon me?
Is the MOU with Alberta just a smoke screen?
I don't know. It's some type of protocol document that I think that ease the application when it's filed with Canada, whether it's filed with the Canadian Impact Assessment Agency or the Major Projects Office. Hard to say.
Sorry, do you think that the province of BC should have a veto over whether or not the pipeline gets through?
Well, that's not what the constitutional authorities say in terms of what Canada is responsible for in terms of interprovincial projects. But it sounds like our Prime Minister has already said yesterday in the House that yes, to a certain extent, BC will get a veto.
And what about for First Nations communities?
Well, that's already laid out in the case law, specifically the High Court case of 2004. There's a whole roadmap on how rights and titles should be addressed.
And do you think that the government is doing a good enough job at addressing it in this case?
They haven't done anything. I mean, the clock doesn't start ticking until the application is submitted to the regulatory agencies. And as far as I know, no application has been submitted.
Yesterday, the Prime Minister said that there are necessary conditions and sufficient conditions. What do you think these conditions are that he's talking about?
No idea. That was an oxymoron statement if I ever heard one. I don't understand what it meant. It's just I don't think regular Canadians will understand what that means. So we still got to figure out what the real details will be when the application is submitted.
And what are your constituents telling you about whether or not they want a pipeline?
I haven't really heard anything just yet. But what I'm telling everybody that asked me about is exactly what I'm telling you. We won't know until we see the specific application. And then the next steps will be, will it be fast-tracked in the same manner that they fast-tracked the high-speed rail, for instance, meaning government will use expropriation powers, for example. Fast-tracking can involve any number of different issues in regards to government actions.
By suggesting that he might change some of the rules on emissions, by suggesting that the government might lift partly the tanker ban, is he basically saying, I'm getting out of the way like Pierre Poilievre is saying?
Well, you'll notice that depending on the audience, the message will change. So if he's in front of an environmental crowd, he'll say he's going to do the utmost efforts to achieve the Paris Accord agreement, for example. But if he goes to another province, he'll say the exact opposite. I'm going to build a pipeline. I'm going to lift the emissions cap. I'm going to do everything else to make sure projects go ahead. So pretty hard to see where this government is going to land.
Do you think that there actually will be a pipeline built at the end of this?
At the end of this?
Yeah, once all of the processes go through, once the MOU is signed, do you actually believe in a few years that we'll have a pipeline built?
I'm not sure because the LNG pipelines, like I started working on LNG pipelines back in 2004. And Chevron, KLNG, that multi-billion project, they left in 2021. They just couldn't get through the regulatory process and the politics of BC and Canada for that matter. So we just actually celebrated LNG Canada, for instance, 5-6 years ago. Approval. And they started building. So what does this government do? They re-announce it as part of their major projects initiative as a fast tracking. It doesn't need fast tracking. So I'm curious myself in terms of trying to wade through all the different comments coming from this Prime Minister in terms of what fast tracking means, or will it go just to a regular process within the existing process under the Canadian Impact Assessment Agency?
And what do you think this is going to do for Canadian unity when you see one premier who says absolutely no to an oil and gas pipeline, another premier who wants it, the Prime Minister is signing this MOU? What are your views on the Canadian unity aspect of this?
Oh, I'm not sure about Canadian unity, but I'm pretty sure Alberta's watching this pretty closely as well. Okay? Thanks, guys.